and I have been given credentials to cover like the Miami Heat, so I have limited time. Also, I'm using a Rode Podcaster microphone. Does it sound good? I've like finally figured out how to like get better with my audio equipment at times. I feel like I've been such a noob for someone who's actually really good at technology. But either way, let's get to it and talk about the other team that has reemerged. Ooh, that does not look good. But that is, of course, Jimmy Butler and the Golden State Warriors. We know this one has been talked about. People have wanted it to come to a reality. And the one thing with it is that allegedly the Warriors don't want to go fully all in, and Curry doesn't want them to bankrupt themselves. Personally, I believe you got to be like the Los Angeles Rams and say F them picks, push the chips to the middle of the table. I don't deal with ifs and buts, only absolutes, you know. And Shams Charania said that allegedly, besides the Phoenix Suns, the Golden State Warriors are the team that have been negotiating with Miami Heat. Now the price tag for Butler has been lower, but it still is shorter contracts with draft assets unless it's a really good player. To me, when we look at this, I think it's a bit annoying, as we know the Heat are optimistic about getting a deal done, and the Heat have felt that they should receive an extra incentive if they take back any players with long-term money that run past the 25-26 season, and that if they are taking back salary that goes past that, it has to be for an all-star or else. And the Heat are positioned to have more than $80 million in cap space in 2026 when several all-stars are going to be available. While most superstars don't reach free agency in the era of the extensions and the trade, but similar to the 76ers this past offseason, and I've said it lately, the NBA is about to have a very similar free agency period to like the NFL and MLB, where like teams will position themselves to have cap flexibility to like retool annually. And Windhorst spoke about the extent of Butler's feud, and before that he talked about the Heat having reduced what it would acquire to get Butler, that teams are now expected to enter the bidding process that aren't named the Phoenix Suns, those being the Golden State Warriors, and allegedly the Rockets and Mavericks could be dark horses. We know the Grizzlies are allegedly somebody he doesn't want to go to. I don't think the Rockets or Mavericks are going to do it either. So just to play around with this exercise, as we always do, I think the Fanspo trade machine would give us a great idea of what a trade could look like. And to me, I think if we're going to go ahead and talk about a Jimmy Butler to Golden State, I think the easiest thing to do is to acknowledge that this is a team that should give up any players they don't want to pay, or any players they don't see being a part of the next 2 years. I think they should understand that the two eras timeline of Jonathan Kuminga, James Wiseman, and Moses Moody did not work. Yeah, two of those guys are still there, but it didn't work. It did not work. And I get it. I get that people want to see it through and understand that people take a while to develop. But to me, it's just, if the rule of insanity is to keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. And it's starting to feel like that ever since they won the championship. They've gone ahead and just kept the same team. I really, really do think that at this point, they need to go ahead and try to make a move or something to put themselves in a position to have another guy. And they got lucky that Andrew Wiggins turned into Maple Jordan for that playoff run and everybody was great, but it's not enough. It's not enough. And I also like that Fanspo added the first and second apron spaces. They've added a little bit more stuff to this, which makes it a bit more enjoyable. Now, looking here The contracts you'd have to do, Kevon Looney and Gary Payton with Jonathan Kuminga, I believe gets you already $24 million. Now, the easiest way to go from here would just be throw in Andrew Wiggins and you could take off Kuminga, and the deal would be built around Wiggins, Gary Payton, Kevon Looney. This is like the most basic deal you'll probably see. And what it says, they still need to cut $4.3 million. So as I said, Guy Zondas has been playing really well, and Lindy Waters seems like somebody that they like. And with that being said, unless this is where I'm kind of hell-bent, would they rather have Kyle Anderson or Jonathan Kuminga? I think in a deal like this, if they throw in Kuminga, they'll be like, well, we'll give up less picks, and maybe they just give up the 2025 pick and a couple second rounders. That's could be something realistic. And you have a team like the Heat attach both Alec Burks and Josh Richardson, who are both on minimums, which would then allow you to do a deal that looks like this. And this deal right here, I don't know if you guys agree with it, but Josh Richardson would be bought out. You would then convert one of your two ways, or you'd sign somebody in free agency, maybe bring Lonnie Walker back. And the Heat walk away with Jonathan Kuminga, Kevon Looney, Gary Payton, Andrew Wiggins, 2 second-round picks and a first-round pick. And if they want, they can just sign and trade a guy like Jonathan Kuminga in the offseason. I think that's one that can go ahead and be very easy to do. So that's one that I find interesting, and the likelihood of it, maybe not. I think it all depends on how desperate or willing the Golden State Warriors are to move on from their players, because they've seemed very reluctant. Now, by the way, Van Lee, I'm the first one ever born in America, but my father was born in Pescara, Italy, same place where Simone Fontecchio is from, but my grandfather was born in Skopje, Yugoslavia in like 1916, and was raised in Belgrade, Serbia now, but in Yugoslavia. But my family also, like my grandfather's cousin was the chief rabbi of Turkey, so and also the Ottoman Empire. So I'm like, and then my family, because the 1496 diaspora, because I'm a Sephardic Jew, goes back to the Iberian Peninsula, and my mom's from Argentina, and she's also Basque French. So I'm a mutt. I'm a little bit of everything, if we had to say so. But